Hey everyone, Irit here with a new process video for HipKit Club. This is the first layout that I'm using the May kits. You can see what I'm going to play with in the coming month in the haul video that I posted on my channel. And my instructions for today were to use cut files and a grid design. And I think I kind of knew right away what I wanted to create. A very simple grid design, which kind of goes with my usual style, I would say. I like to use two small photos. That's actually my preferable format or kind of photos to use. And I already had those balloons cut out from my previous layout featuring die cuts. I will also link you to that one. And my grid is going to be these three sections kind of thing. So I have my two photos, and then the third one is going to have my title, which says "You Rock." And I really like that cut file. There are some pretty fun titles this month. So I wanted to use that paper with the rainbows. I love that thing. And it just ended up, it didn't look as good. I think what bothered me, it's not that it didn't look good, but because I had the die cuts cut from white cardstock, it really kind of bothered me, threw me off a little bit, because the rainbow paper has more of a creamy background. And this cardstock is very kind of stark white. So I decided to go with white cardstock for background, just like the die cuts. And then I also added a couple of strips from one of the Paige Evans papers. I really like this one. It's white and it has these little stars in rainbow colors. So I thought that would be a fun little accent for the bottom and top. When I use white cardstock, I tend to either mat my layout on a 12 by 12, so cut down a little bit the white cardstock, or do something like this. I feel it looks better. It kind of frames the layout, keeps the viewer eye in, on the page, looking at what's going on and not floating out of the page. So I wanted to add just a little bit something to the background. I considered doing some mixed media, but I just didn't have enough time to let things dry and everything. So I went in with this adorable stamp set from the All Heart Crate Paper collection. Nobody does cutesy like crate paper. And I used gray ink. It's off screen, sorry, but this is the Stays On light gray. I don't remember the name of the shade. If you want the name of the shade, then leave me a comment and I'll check for you. But it's just a light gray, and I thought it would be nice, just as an accent. I think if I had used black, it would have been a little bit too harsh. So I wanted just a light color. And now comes the fun part. Once I have my major elements in place, and I'm going to move it around just because that that Y on the word you has a large piece of it. It's like this scripty font, and I didn't want it hanging off the page. I didn't want to cut it, so I had to move my title to the right side so that that little scripty line will not get cut off, although it does get hidden behind the photo, I think, at the end. So I backed my grid, like my three elements here, with some of the 3x4 cards from the Project Life Kit. This is such an easy way to get layers. Obviously, you don't need to have those cards. You could just cut some pattern paper. That's what I usually do, but these were so pretty. I really liked those kind of ice cream colors, these happy summery colors, and they really complemented the colorful stars in the Paige Evans paper. So I added also some stitching. I really like to stitch through titles like these when it's not letter stickers, just because I feel it looks better instead of just stuck on. many times with papers, when you just layer paper on paper on paper, it just looks like you stuck a bunch of papers, which is, what we do. But adding the stitching really gives it a more finished and intentional look, in my opinion, anyway. So the balloons are also there. You can check out my video from last week, I think it was, where I really go at it with mixed media on these balloon cut files. And I really love how that one turned out. So make sure you watch it if you hadn't already. Adding some more little stampy accents. And now basically what I have left to do is to embellish this page. And this was a lot of fun. You can go through all the embellishments and fussy cut some pretty elements from the papers as well. I'm going to fussy cut some flowers. Oh, I just wanted to show you that I added also some stamping on the balloons just to make them look like more, a part of this whole layout. I fussy cut, you can see that here on the left side of the screen at the top area. Now I moved it. The vellum piece that we got in the paper add-on, it's gorgeous. So I fussy cut a couple of those flowers and they're going to be some layers. I love the look of vellum in such a way. It has that transparency to it. So it all looks very light and airy, but it still adds a lot. So I'm going to add some of these pieces to tucked behind my little project life cards, and I just love how that looks. So this is here, it's all about balance. I added that big piece of floral vellum there because I have the balloons on the diagonal. If you make a diagonal line from the florals to the balloon, it kind of draws your eye across the layout. And yeah, that stuff is intentional, but I also want to repeat elements because that makes a layout design look more cohesive. So I am going to take a few more pieces from the same vellum sheet, but they're going to be smaller. So just to echo that element, but still I kept the big one where I did to balance those balloons at the top. And I'm just I'm kind of scooching things around because I don't want stuff to hang off the page. So yeah, I'm just moving them around. I wanted to include some of these frames that we got, but the frames were a bit too small and I felt they were kind of closing in on the girls in the photo and they were just kind of in the way and not really adding anything to the look. I love these fabric bows that Kimberly designed. These are exclusive to the kit and you assemble them. It's really easy to assemble them. I used some ATG tape and I just love the texture of fabric. So I knew I wanted to use them. I kind of went with a tone on tone thing. You can see the more peachy color is on the more peachy paper on the right side, and then the pink one is on the photo which has pink in it, and also the paper backing the left photo is pink. So shocker, now I'm going to see which kind of embellishments I can add that work with that whole tone on tone thing. And I think the problem is that a lot of these pieces, for example, here are rather large and my photos are not, and a lot of the elements here are kind of small. So I just felt if I added something huge, it would overpower the rest. And I want the photos to be really the focal point. So yeah, just looking through the embellishments, and I couldn't resist adding basically a ton of butterflies and some flowers. The stuff we got from crate paper is just full of them. And then there are also the acetate butterflies that are exclusive to the kit. So I had to use those. I picked the smaller ones. again, because I thought the really large butterflies or the larger ones in this pack would kind of overpower my main elements. So I just went through them, and I already think I know what I want to do with them in my next layout. I have this month also a layout featuring these butterflies, so I already have an idea. And shocker, spoiler, I think I will try to organize them in rainbow colors. So watch out for that. And that's basically it. I had so much fun making this layout. It really came together fast. That's the nice thing about grid designs. The base is already there for you, and all you have to do is just add layers and embellish until you're happy and satisfied. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in another video soon. Bye.